Hi guys, my name is Siv Ngesi. Everyone calls me Siv. I'm an actor, comedian, TV presenter. Actually, wait, I'm an award-winning actor, comedian, TV presenter.
So I can start again?
Yep.
Cool. So the first question is, what is the significance of water to you?
Water is everything. Water is life. I think people take water for granted. I wish people could understand how important water is and how we wouldn't live very long without water. And it's actually a very, very important resource.
Cool. Second one is, how does water play a role in your life specifically?
I'm a water baby, man. Like, I grew up swimming. I played Western Province water polo. You know what I mean? I gym a lot. I work out a lot. So I think water is the sense of freedom when you finish working out and you drink ice cold water. It's better than what Coke could ever be. So for me, water is a place to play, a place to compete, a place to refresh, and a place just to clean yourself inside and out.
So yeah, you take the question from the start.
Yeah,
And you just clap for us. Thank you.
Cool. So how does water play a role in your life?
Water is life, the irony of the question, playing a part in my life. Water is life, and I think people don't realize how it's such an important resource and we actually are running out of time. I think if you were sitting at home and you just switch on the tap, you don't realize how having water coming out of your tap is a privilege. And a lot of people don't have that privilege. So for me, I really feel like water is everything. It's life. Without it, there's problems.
What kind of problems?
What kind of problems? Death. Death. You know what I mean? The world needs water. I think your body is like how much percent water? How much percent? Like 70% water. So for me, I think it's a no-brainer. Take care of the resource. It's very, very important. And if you don't take care of it, we're going to pay the price.
The third question is, what is your take on water being a human right?
Hey, going deep. You know, sometimes humans are entitled, very entitled beings. But I think water is definitely something that everyone should have and everyone should have access to. I think one day we'll have wars over water. And I think people hear that and are like, oh, you're exaggerating. But it's so important, man. Everyone needs it. It's like, have you ever been in your house and you don't have toilet paper? Toilet paper becomes the most important thing in your life when you don't have toilet paper. When you walk out of the toilet and you got no toilet paper, you regret taking toilet for granted. It's like electricity with Eskom. You're like, electricity, man, phone's not charged. Electricity is everything. But the thing about electricity, you know, you'll be fine without your cell phone. You'll be fine without your microwave. But can you be fine without being able to have water? That's life, you die. It's fine.
Yeah. The last question I have here is, do you have a story that you can think about that relates to water? Be it from now, be it from a long time ago, during your water polo days?
Growing up, everyone told me that I couldn't swim because I was black, which always confused me. Like our skin is heavier or our bones are heavier. So I played water polo, jumped into that pool, swam. People were always shocked to see me swim. And I always felt comfortable in swimming. I always felt comfortable in water. And growing up, we didn't have pools because I lived in a township. But when we moved into the white area, we were like, we need a pool, you know? That means you're wealthy. And the irony of that is, in many years to come, water will mean wealth because not everyone's going to be able to have it or access to it. But water, it reminds me of my childhood.
Yeah.
You went from 1 to 3 because we had to do them all over again, remember?
So we did two. Two was, so the first one was the significance of water.
Okay.
And the second one was, how does water play a role in your life?
Okay, sure.
And then the third one was,
Sure,
what is human right?
Are you happy?
Yeah, I'm happy, but like just, this is Viann's personal question.
Yeah, so Bruce Lee says be like water. Can you comment on that, please?
Be like water. Bruce Lee says be like water. So I'm an actor. I'm a sportsman who boxes. And like this morning I had an audition. And literally that's actually an incredible saying because you have to be the character. Our body is 70% water, so that particular saying is more literal than I could ever imagine. Consume it, own it, you're already 70% of it. Be like water. And in boxing, it's the same as when you're in the ring and you're not flowing, that's when you get beaten. But when you flow, that's when you see things in slow motion. Yeah, be like water.
Can you talk to us about any what does water symbolize in a traditional Xhosa?
Okay.
Yeah.
When I think of water in my culture, I think of women with these things on their heads and how they walk so far to be able to bring it home. But it's like the thing that is needed. And women are always carrying it on their heads without holding it, they're just walking like kilometers of it. And you realize that if it wasn't as important as we know it is, they wouldn't do that. If they could live weeks without water, they wouldn't have water. But for me, when you go to the Eastern Cape, you see the appreciation, because I come from the Eastern Cape, you see the appreciation of water and how an incredible resource it is, and how people should have it in their houses coming out of the tap. But one day when you don't have water coming out of your tap, then you see what happens.
I'd like you to rant for as much as you can, starting the sentence with water is or water means, just every time with water, just starting every sentence with water. What does it symbolize? What emotions come up? Like what do you associate it with? What could it be? Just explore that word as much as possible.
Water is life. Water is everything that everyone needs. Water is purity. Water is cleanliness. Sometimes you think of, there was always that one kid at school who didn't smell the best. And you were quick to make fun of him. The question is, did he have access to water like we did? Then you have, water is, like I said, cleanliness, but cold water. Some people couldn't clean with cold water. I think back, water is a resource that we need. Water is taken for granted. Water is deeply needed. Water is life-saving. And water is consumed. Water is wasted. Water will be an important, unbelievable resource that will be more important than gold and wine.
And wine.
And wine. And gold, wine, oil.
Yeah, happy, done, cut. That's a wrap. Well, we have to get the picture.
Yeah, so Siv,
Sure.
on the side of the roast